years, the African American community has been raging forth with their resilience and their movement towards justice. The wealth of this nation is made off our lands. The wealth of this nation is made off the back of the African American communities. This is a story that we have to understand and come to grips with. But we want to come here today with a prayer for everybody, a prayer for this path forward. And we say, Wopila for the city coming together as one. The city stands at a place to set a precedent that could ripple out. And this we truly love and honor. This city has the world's attention, as I said yesterday. One thing we need to do is defund the police and put it back in community, these resources. The message is clear and consistent for this path forward. And we need commitments from this city, from the officials that we have elected. As Indigenous peoples, we understand that we must honor life, protect life, honor Mother Earth, honor our families, our communities, our children, honor each other. So in this way, we understand that we must move away from a past of injustice and into a future of justice. We understand that Black Lives Matter is Indigenous justice. That Indigenous justice is Black justice. That Black justice is world justice. So as we go into this prayer, this Wocheke, we are of one heart and one mind. My relatives, I ask you now to stand with us. Stand together in unity for this prayer, this Wocheke, this giving of our spirit, our heart, for our relatives and those struggling around the world against police brutality. In this prayer, we ask you to give of your nazi, your spirit, your chante, your heart, your kawachi kanka, your mind, for Black justice. Defund police. Move towards community-led safety. So we offer this prayer. We call on the Creator. We understand that we do not separate the Creator from creation. Our spirituality is our reality. With that in mind, this is a spiritual movement too. And we do this together. We'll go with this song. Be with us, pray with us, and we'll close with the language of the Cheti Shakui. Again, we want to remind you here today that our relatives from the American Indian community, Little Earth, the American Indian movement are here to remind everyone that this is an intergenerational movement for justice. This is an intergenerational movement for healing. And that we're not here just to trigger the trauma, but we're here to trigger the healing genes that need to happen as this march towards justice occurs. Every step of the way, the first step is done right. So we say Wopla to Black visions and take back the block for understanding this and making place for Indigenous peoples. Because Indigenous peoples, we have to be acknowledged not just historically, but presently. We are not gone. We are still here. We're here to stand in solidarity. So with that, my brothers and sisters, we're going to give this over now.
Thank you all for joining. We are live in Minneapolis at Powderhorn Park. A community meeting with city council members called The Path Forward.
Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. A reminder that we are here really for transformation and for growth of something new. And that's the vision and the dream that we need to focus on today. Before we get started, just a couple of quick announcements. If you forgot, we're still in a pandemic. And please keep on masks and try to maintain social distancing as much as possible. For folks who will be getting up on the stage, we'll be switching mics between speakers because, again, COVID-19. Lastly, we made the announcement about interpreters, so if you have folks in the crowd that you know might need to access that, please direct them the right way. And the fourth and very joyous one is, happy fucking birthday, Prince! We already know he's here with us. His little queer, non-binary, everything, all the things self is 100% part of the reason why we are here today. And many of the ancestors who have truly laid the groundwork and the path forward for us. And before I call up more folks, I just want to say a couple of things. So bear with me here. Minneapolis, we're here because now is the time to dismantle MPD. Black people and queer people and trans people and indigenous people and disabled people and immigrants and poor people, we have never looked to the police for our safety. We have looked to each other. We have looked to each other for protection from the police. It shouldn't have taken so much death to get us here. George Floyd should not have been murdered for so many people to wake up. It shouldn't have taken young black folks rising, risking their lives in these streets over and over. I want to honor all of the organizers and communities who, for generations, have dreamed and worked to make this day happen. Right now, I feel Harriet at my back. I want to recognize every one of you who believed this day was possible and said it and conjured it when everyone said you were wrong. And listen, I know many folks have a lot of questions about abolishing the police. I see you. We got you. It's okay to be scared and it's okay to be uncertain. And of course we're uncertain. They've spent hundreds of years taking money from us to actually create our own safety. That is why we don't have all the answers. It's really important to notice that because as we recognize that uncertainty, we have to recognize that that comes from a place, and that was strategic on part of our oppressors. There are things we don't know yet that we need to figure out together. But there's a lot we do know today. We know that we're safer when everyone has a place to live. We know we're safer when everyone has access to healthy food. We know we're safer when everyone has good quality education and healthcare and mental health care. We know that violence in our communities happens as a result of trauma, and that we have to intervene in the cycle instead of policing the symptom. We know that there are resources in our city to make this possible. We know we're safer without armed, unaccountable patrols protected by the state out here hunting black people. I want to hold up everyone who has been out here taking real risks and working hard to support and protect each other in community. Literally fighting fires, feeding each other, defending neighbors from white supremacists. We are already doing this work, y'all. My curls don't want me to win today. Today, we'll be learning more about how we got to this moment and what lies ahead of us from Miski Noor, one of my best friends, my woe, my comrade and my wife in the struggle forever. Not really wife, but like queer wife. And Ariana Nason, also a comrade in the struggle. Our council members will make a historic commitment right here, right now. And if you've seen the video with Jacob yesterday, you know. And most important, we're going to ask you all to talk to each other about where we go next. Before we do that, I'm going to pass the mic to Councilmember Andrea Jenkins to share a poem. Thank you.
How's everybody doing out there? Is it right if I sit up here on the stage? They asked me to do the impossible. As a city council member in the midst of a global pandemic, in the midst of a global uprising, to write a poem. But guess what? Your girl came through. Quarantine soul. I only think of you on 2 occasions, and that's day and night. Babyface. One Sunday morning, I listened to the entire discography of Luther Vandross. It made me smile. I cleaned the entire house, one room at a time. I found a jar of Miracle Whip, dated used by June 20th, 2008. Little Richard, the founding father of rock and roll. Oh, Lucille, why can't you be true? Our babies falling asleep at the breakfast table that doubles as their desks. Homeschool mama's rule. I said homeschool mama's rule. Mother's Day came and went, socially distant, days and nights, singularity, solo, dinner for one. Epic moments move things. Epic moments make movements. Epic movements start with moments. 61 seconds was a moment. Jamar Clark was a movement. Oh Lord, we missing Prince right now. He would probably say something like, "Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life." Yeah, Prince went to Baltimore. Prince went to Baltimore. Prince went to Baltimore and wrote a song when Freddie Gray was murdered, killed, throat crushed, back broke. Yeah, Freddie got the knee choke too. There's a deeper, darker side. Nefarious forces operating under the surface. It's like watching The Last Dance. Make you want to stand in line for 48 whole hours to get them new Airs. Them new Yeezys. Or that Popeye fried chicken sandwich. Yeah, that's my addiction. Mama cooking up them wings in the kitchen. Yeah, but we can't breathe. 'Cause Ahmaud Arbery was murdered in the streets. Breonna Taylor was murdered in her sheets. It's being treated without respect. It's having to fight for everything. It's not getting the same chances. It's being left out. Like you don't count. It's death. I grew up listening to Public Enemy in real time. I dialed 911 a long time ago. Can't you see how late they reacting? They only come and they come when they wanna. So bring the morgue truck and involve the coroner. Quarantine blues. Sitting at home thinking of a master plan. Elizabeth Alexander asked us, what if love was the most powerful word in the universe? We sing songs, dance dances, paint pictures, documenting the pain for the world to witness. But nothing changes. Nothing ever changes. Minneapolis, goddamn! We can't breathe. The EPA eased the laws protecting our air quality. The coronavirus is attacking our lungs. And America got its knee on our necks. White supremacy is a public health crisis. But guess what? We got the cure. So what you want to talk about next, beauties? Revolution? You wouldn't use that word if you knew what it meant. It ain't pretty. It's bloody. It overturns things. Somewhere in America tonight, somebody is saying, make America great again. We say emphatically, no. Somewhere in America tonight, somebody is saying, why don't they just go home? We say defiantly, no. Somewhere in America tonight, somebody is asking, what do they want? We demandingly say we want change. Change the way we educate, change the way we employ our communities, change the way we live, the way we treat each other, change the way we police our communities. There is a new breeze blowing in. Young voices taking over. When you put your knee on George Floyd's neck, young voices said no. They said, when we know justice, you will know peace. No justice, no peace. Hashtag Ayanna Dior, stop killing black trans women.
We're here live in Minneapolis. That was Andrea Jenkins,
Give it
one of
up!
the first trans women city council members. This is Powderhorn
That was
Park.
incredible. Thank you, Councilmember Andrea Jenkins. A reminder that when we say Black lives, we unapologetically mean all Black lives. Period. So without further ado, would love to call Miski Noor and Ariana Nason up to the front. Boop, boop, give them a hand. And while they're coming up, I realized I forgot to give y'all my name. Hi, everyone. My name is Candace Montgomery. I use she and they pronouns. My squad is Black Visions. Give it up. All right, here you go.
Good? We have a second mic for Ariana? There we go. Okay, I'll get started. How y'all feeling? Yeah, excited to be here on Prince's birthday. Happy birthday, Prince. I feel you. Y'all, the Minneapolis Police Department cannot be reformed. The Minneapolis Police Department needs to be dismantled. And we say this because we have studied history and we have watched what's happened in Minneapolis this week. MPD has shown us who they really are over and over and over and over again. It is not an accident when a cop is violent with a Black person. It is not a result of bad training. Anti-Blackness is part of the purpose of policing. Police forces grew out of slave patrols meant to catch Black people who were escaping from slavery, trying to claim their own liberation, seeking freedom. And although Minnesota was not a slave state, Black people in Minneapolis have always been the targets of police violence. The Minneapolis police were also found as a tool of genocide, y'all, to protect white settlers moving onto the land we're now on, pushing Dakota people off. This is in MPD's DNA. If police reform worked, we wouldn't be here right now. Minneapolis has actually been a poster child for reform as far as policing is concerned. And MPD has already passed a lot of the major police reforms that people are promoting around the country today. We tried it. Didn't work. Telling you now. Don't try it in other cities. We have had citizen review boards, body cameras, and a Black chief. But we are still here, watching Black people get murdered and tear gassed in our streets. It has taken a nationwide uprising to get 4 cops to be charged in the murder of George Floyd. And y'all, we can't keep doing this. When abolitionists fought for an end to slavery, a lot of white people argued that it would be impossible. That it would be chaos if black people were allowed to be free. But there were visionaries who knew it would be possible, that it was possible, that it is possible, that even if it took a reconstruction of the entire country, it was worth it. Minneapolis, we are here to make history today. We are here to rebuild our city on a different foundation. A foundation of real safety, protection for black people, for Native people, for immigrants, for disabled folks, for queer and trans people. Minneapolis, let's do it.
It's not going to work with my mask on. Oh, that's a thick mask. Bonjour. My name is Ariana Nason, and I'm from Fond du Lac, and I have been a resident of South Minneapolis for a long time now. And I am here with my crew, with all of my people, all of my relatives, all of my friends, and all my family, and I am here to speak on behalf and with MPD 150 today. So, all of you lovely friends, all of you beautiful faces out here, it feels like May Day out here right now, but it's so much more than that. And I am so excited to see what else keeps coming out from every single person here today. So if you are here today, though, you're probably already agree that we need to abolish the police. But, this isn't just about us. This is a beautiful start. This is a beautiful movement. But we have to keep building the movement outward in a sustainable way that's from connection, that's from resilience, that's from a place of joy, that's from a place of life-giving work. That is what we are out here to do. And this means conversation, this means political education. Our families, friends, and neighbors are going to have questions, lots and lots of questions about what a police-free future can look like. What does that mean? And we have a few points that have been helpful when we talk to our people. We've been doing this for a long time. Let us help you. Ruth Wilson Gilmore said, "Abolition is about presence, not absence. It's about building life-affirming institutions." So again, abolition is about presence, not absence. It's about building life-affirming institutions. We absolutely need to, and we will continue to defund and divest from the police and put that money back into our communities and to support the life-giving work that our communities have already been doing from time immemorial. And no, there is not one specific model that we can point to. There is not one specific example because there is not one specific community that is going to be the best fit for everyone. We all know what we need to heal. We all already know within our communities what we can do, what we need, and what we need more of. And that's where we want to keep putting in that work, is building into that space. We have to look back at the wisdom of those who have lived in societies without police, because a reminder, the Minneapolis Police Department is only about 150 years old. That's not that old. 150 years, that's 3 generations tops. That's a short amount of time, and we can do that. We have at least 5 generations of people doing the work here in the crowd right now. So when we are talking about doing the work and building out a future, some of what we are talking about is visionary. So for example, when people ask, who will I call when I need help? That's a valid question, because not everyone is connected to community, to their neighbors, to their family, like a lot of us are lucky to be able to. Being connected is a gift, and one I want to keep working on giving, and one I want to keep working on cultivating. So when people ask us that, we let them know that, first of all, for many of us, police have never been helpful. They have never been the option. They have never been a safe option, period. For many of us, police is fear, is danger. So having other people to call isn't a brand new revolutionary idea. It's something that thousands of our neighbors are already practicing. So for example, back north, on my res where I'm from, there's this notion where it's like, you don't call cops, you call family. Like, you don't call cops, you call your neighbor. You call the people that know you. You call the people that know what's going on, and you build from there. That is who is safe. That is who knows how to handle it, because we know how best to communicate with each other, because we are connected. So, the second thing that we do know for sure is that we're not abolishing help, we're abolishing the police. Just flat out. There can be and needs to be someone to call when we're in crisis, and sometimes that's going to look informal, like neighbors. Sometimes it's going to be more formal, like social workers that we trust, that we put into our communities, that we choose who are there. But the point is, we choose who we get to call, and we choose who responds to us. That is so important. The ultimate safety is being able to choose how your life is supported. We absolutely do not want to just rebrand police, change the color of their uniform, and call them something else. Like, nah. Just no. We're not going there. We can think critically about what unarmed crisis response teams must be, or they might look like. So if there is a crisis in your community, folks have an agreed upon response. Folks know how to support each other and hold each other up. And as we've been saying, we can and should and must invest in community-led safety measures that are not just neighborhood watches or vigilantes snooping on each other. Like, I swear, if I'm walking home one more time and I hear the same guy on my block screaming at me to go home, like, no, that's not safe. We have to do the work to imagine something different and to listen to what people in our own neighborhoods and in our communities want. We have to practice listening, and we have to take what we are given when we are noticing these things and turn it outward. We have to create and shape the change. So one last point that has been very useful to us in conversation with people who aren't going to show up to an event like this, and that's fine. It's about talking about harm and violence through a public health lens. Harm reduction. When you are preventing the problems, it is more efficient, it is more sustainable. Flat out, if you need to talk about it, it's more cost effective. It really is. Saying that we want to divest from punishment and invest in prevention, not just because it's right or the cool thing to talk about right now, but because decades of data prove that it's more effective at keeping us safe. We do not need more cops. We need more youth programs, mental health services, addiction treatment options, including a harm reduction approach. We need to decriminalize all of the things that are giving police an excuse or trying to give them an excuse to arrest us for absolutely no reason other than trying to survive. We need more housing. We need more sustainable jobs, especially under the current conditions right now. We have no idea what the future is going to look like, but we get to decide. Lastly, MPD150.com has a very, very handy tab right on the right side of the page that's frequently asked questions. It's a good resource, and it's accessible, and we have it translated.
Wow, one more time. Let's give it up for Miski Noor and Ariana Nason. Before we continue with our program, we want to make another announcement around interpreters. So folks who are in need of ASL interpretation, you can go over here to the tree, right here, and then I'll let y'all.
Si necesitan interpretación hacia el español, ahí tenemos una mesa con equipo de interpretación. Ahí vas a poder escuchar toda la plática en español. Ahí pueden venir a recoger su equipo.
Assalamu alaikum, magacayga Naima la dhahaa. Waxaan joogaa miiska halkaas oo miiska cad. Igu kulama hadda af Soomaali turjumaan u baahan tihiin. Mahadsanid. Dylan.
This is a thing. Mic switching. Yes, so next what I'm going to do is call up our council members and pass over the mic to our council president, Lisa Bender. And we'll pass the mic over. I just want to really emphasize some of the points that were made, that this is about something that we can grow together, and that this hits across all of our communities, right? All of our communities, and especially is impacting Black people, especially impacting Indigenous folks and folks of color. And I think that's critical, right? Most deportations start at an arrest by a police officer. Most deportations start at an arrest by a police officer. And there are many other issues in which police have been asked to solve issues or problems or whatever that keeps us all unsafe. And so just a reiteration that we all here together, we all have a vested interest in defunding MPD. And thank you. So now I'll pass it over to Lisa. Let me grab you the mic.
Thank you. Is that working? Hi, Minneapolis. You look so beautiful today. I'm Lisa Bender. I'm the president of the Minneapolis City Council. Thank you to Black Visions Collective. Thank you to Reclaim the Block. Thank you to our Black leaders, our communities of color, our Indigenous leaders, and to every single one of you who's raising your voice in the streets of Minneapolis, demanding change. We're here because we hear you. We're here because George Floyd was killed by the Minneapolis police. We are here because in Minneapolis and in cities across the United States, it is clear that our system of policing is not keeping our communities safe. Our efforts at incremental reform have failed. Period. Our commitment is to do what's necessary to keep every single member of our community safe and to tell the truth that the Minneapolis police are not doing that. Our commitment is to end our city's toxic relationship with the Minneapolis Police Department, to end policing as we know it, and to recreate systems of public safety that actually keep us safe. And these are your words. We hear you, and we're here to make our commitment to your words, to your leadership. So I invite every single resident of Minneapolis into a conversation about how we move forward together, while we center the voices of individuals and communities who are most impacted by community violence and by police violence. We have an amazing team of leaders at the Minneapolis City Council. Look at them here. And it is an honor to serve with them and to turn the mic over to our brilliant City Council Vice President, Andrea Jenkins.
Yeah, what she said. If y'all don't know, this is Oluchi right here. I asked Oluchi to come stand with me and have my back so I can tell y'all why we wear the color purple. A requiem for the queers, or why we wear the color purple. We wear purple because all queens deserve a royal crown. Because it speaks volumes to those who claim they are colorblind, and it connects us to an ancient cultural legacy. We wear purple because Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera, 2 stars, street transvestite action revolutionaries, wore purple when they marched at Stonewall. We wear purple for all the queers who died on June 24th, 1973 in New Orleans when a bigoted homophobe sprayed Ronzinol lighter fluid on the stairs and tossed a match, and the ensuing flames traveled to the upstairs lounge, killing 32 people just 4 years after Stonewall. We wear purple for all the queer and questioning youth that will sleep under a bridge or trade sex for a place to stay tonight. We wear purple for the indigenous, two-spirit people representing our struggle on the daily. We wear purple because radical women of color feminism shapes our mindset and thought process, offering critical resistance to the prison industrial complex, male patriarchy, and religious subjugation. Wind is kicking out here today, y'all. We wear purple because we have to rewrite the narrative of what is and who is a woman. We wear purple because the intersections of race, class, gender, and sexuality is the street we live on, and we can't move even if we wanted to. We have to act against what is considered normal. All of y'all can go and get married now. But I can't even vote because my ID does not match up to the person standing in the ballot box. All of y'all can go and get married now, but I still have to suffer a urinary tract infection because I can't go to the bathroom in some public spaces. All of y'all can go and get married now, but CeCe McDonald was locked up in the men's prison at St. Cloud Correctional Facility for defending herself from racist, transphobic, and homophobic attacks, while George Zimmerman, who murdered Trayvon Martin, is still walking around a free man with his gun in his waistband. All of y'all can go and get married now. And believe me, I am truly happy. It means that we have moved a little closer to a more just, more righteous society. But we still got a long way to go. The personal is political. We wear purple for Miss Major and the Transgender Intersex Justice Project, my homegirl from Chicago who marched at Stonewall too and is still putting in revolutionary work for the trans brothers and trans sisters on lockdown. We wear purple for Leslie Feinberg and Kate Bornstein, 2 transgender warriors. We will never forget what they taught us about who we are and what we are, and how beauty is our birthright too. I wear purple for my people.